Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Today's episode was designed to fill you with excitement like never before, and your heart racing in ways you never thought was possible. Ready? Let's jump right into it. Today's episode starts off with a wild and quite frankly bizarre capture. Just take a look. What do you see when you look at the capture? A giant lizard? A lizard man? A man in a costume? What exactly? I mean, it could be any of these things, but taking a second look at the capture, you'll realize that there's no way that's a man in a costume. Why do I say that? Well, take a look at the body proportions and the limbs and all that you are seeing. Does it look anything human? I mean, even if a man was wearing a costume, you'd see his body structure in it. And that's definitely not what a human structure is. So where then do we put this? The answer is simple, yet not so simple. How, you ask? Well, it's definitely a lizard, which could make it a giant lizard, and humanoid, which could make it a lizard man. None of the cryptids and otherworldly creatures we've captured so far match this. So what do you think? Lizard or lizard man? Tell us in the comments section. Now let's step back into the year 2022 and show a capture from that year. What does that look like? Like a man stealthily crouching and moving, right? Many who saw the footage, however, believed we are dealing with a Bigfoot, and I can see where they are coming from. But is it really a Bigfoot, though? Can you call that a Bigfoot? Don't get me wrong, I do love myself a big old Bigfoot story and capture, but this is not just giving me Bigfoot. Either way, a part of me wants to believe that could be a man in camouflage gear moving through the woods. Yes, the footage is blurry, but most Bigfoot footage is, and you can tell some are very authentic just by looking at the way the creature is moving. When it comes to this particular one, not so much. It's eerily human looking, and I just can't get over that fact. So my final verdict, most definitely a man. I'm pretty sure that by now, everyone watching this video will have at some point in their life heard the phrase, the cat lady. But if this next clip proves anything, it's that even a man could wear that cap. Just in case you're confused and wondering what you're watching, want to know more. The footage was taken by a man who owns all the cat species. Yes, a man who owns them and not a woman, so no more teasing the woman who loves to have cats. Anyway, you must have noticed that these cats have glowing eyes. Yes, it would be a freakish sight for anyone seeing it for the first time. You might be tempted to believe they're bewitched, which is the very first thing our new intern said when he saw the footage. But if you have owned a cat for a while, then you know that such sights are pretty common at night, and these cats are definitely not possessed. The glowing eyes are due to a specialized layer in their eyes called the tapetum lucidum. While it may look freakish, it has great benefits for our little felines, with the most noticeable one being night vision. Yes, it helps them see much better than we can see at night. Imagine if we had them too. On second thought, don't. I mean, if we had them, everyone would look freakish at night and our night photos would be, well, let's just say weird. Snow, 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 my old nemesis. That's a tale for another day, though. What do you see when you look at this footage? Just bits and pieces of snow, right? But take a closer look. A few meters from the truck, you should see a discernible yet faint ghostly image move. What could that be? Well, no one can say for sure, because one of the images is blurry and faint, and two, the subject we're interested in is quite the distance away. Some who even saw the footage believe it could just be an insect being mistaken to be something more due to the blurry nature of the footage. I almost bought into that theory till I saw the dog at the end of the footage, looking in the direction of the ghostly image. If we needed proof of something being there, then that's our proof. The question now is, what is that? Ghost? Genie? An ethereal being? Something interdimensional? Let us know what you think in the comments section. We'll be reading. Would you stop to film a strange creature in the woods if you saw one? Well, one hunter did, and you won't believe what he captured. Take a look. You see those beady eyes, right? What do you think that creature is? Here's the funny thing, the hunter himself doesn't know and posted it online so the community could help him identify it. If an experienced hunter couldn't identify an animal he was seeing, then surely you know after all my blunders on this channel, well, I wouldn't be the best person to know either. So I throw it to you, the wildlife experts on this channel. What do you think we're dealing with? A real-life creature or something otherworldly? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. We'll be reading. A TikToker had ventured into the wilderness in the middle of the night in his car. Why they do that, I can't tell, but as he was driving, he heard a distant cry of a woman. He looked around to see if he would spot anything, but there was no one in sight. Still concerned about whoever was crying, he drove further into the darkness toward the sound, but he only ended up behind a gate that had the inscription, "No trespassers." Naturally, he ignored it, got out of the car, and continued his search on foot. It was then he came across a mysterious shrine-like rock with flowers on it that made it look like a memorial ground. That didn't deter him as he continued walking in the direction of the cry. This led him to a lake. What was unsettling, though, was that when he reached the lake, the sound became more intense. This time, the sound surrounded him, coming from all directions. Spooked by this, the TikToker gathered the little courage he had and ran away from there.
So scared. I keep hearing something around me. I don't know what it is. This is literally the worst experience I've ever had. I'm freaking out. I should not have come here.
The whole thing is very puzzling and reminds me of the crying spirit of La Llorona. Talking about this will require a special video on her. If you're interested, type La Llorona in the comments section. If we do get enough comments, we may do a special. Until then, perhaps this will teach him a lesson to stay out of the woods at night. We don't know what could have happened if he'd stayed longer. Another eerie woodland encounter took place when an individual ventured into the depths of the forest in the dead of night. As they moved forward, they stumbled upon an intriguing sight, a massive creature lurking ahead hunched beneath a tree. The shroud of darkness made it challenging to discern specific features, but a couple of characteristics were noticeable. The creature possessed elongated arms that dangled loosely in front of its body, reminiscent of a primate's. Its shoulders bore a resemblance to those of a primate, though the identity of this enigmatic being remains a mystery. Was this an encounter with a cryptid or something beyond our understanding? Tell us what you think. Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment in the comments section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thank you very much for doing so, it means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. This next footage was captured in someone's backyard in the middle of the night. In the video, you can spot what appears to be a person dressed in black clothing walking by. However, midway through the camera's view, this person inexplicably vanishes. Upon further examination, this figure, if we can even call it that, appears ghostly, almost transparent. Pay particular attention to the upper part of the body where its head should be. There's nothing there. Instead, there seems to be two pairs of luminous orbs that resemble eyes from whatever mysterious entity this might be. I've never heard of ghosts with eyes that glow like crystals. Have you? Regardless, this is some wild footage. In Atlanta, there's a place that exists to send shivers down your spine: the Doll's Head Trail. This airy trail winds its way through the woods, and it's unlike any other. What makes it so unsettling? Well, it's not the natural beauty of the woods that's disturbing, but the unnerving presence of numerous doll heads scattered all along the path. These are not your typical pristine dolls. No, these are dolls of all shapes and sizes, each bearing the marks of time and decay. Some are dirty, others burnt, and many are disfigured. They've been placed on tree trunks, left on the ground, and arranged in eerie formations. The most chilling part: this unsettling display of doll heads is no accident. It's a man-made creation, and you can't help but feel a sense of unease as you wander through this bizarre and haunting landscape. Have you ever encountered a shadow person? In case you're unfamiliar, their name pretty much says it all. They're human-like shadows moving around without an actual human body in sight. Well, in this particular case, some individuals believe they stumbled upon one in the forest. They were cruising down a path when they spotted some motion in the woods along the trail, leading them to investigate, thinking it might be someone in need of assistance. However, upon reaching the spot, the alleged person was hiding behind a tree. As this figure attempted to peek from behind the tree, what the onlookers saw left them frozen in fear. This supposed person looked human in shape, but it lacked any real flesh or even clothing. It was just a dark, formless mass standing there, leading them to believe it might be a shadow person. What do you think? In Colombia, residents were left bewildered when they spotted a peculiar sight: a woman standing atop a tree. This woman appeared as a dark figure, and her presence had an unsettling effect on the local dogs, causing them to howl in response. The eerie combination of a mysterious figure perched on a tree and the howling of dogs certainly makes this encounter quite perplexing. It's challenging to draw any definitive conclusions from this description alone, but we'd love to hear from you. What do you make of this whole thing? Tell us in the comment section. This person was driving in the middle of the night when they spotted something on the road. As they approached, they noticed a truly chilling sight. There on the ground was a humanoid creature on all fours. This creature appeared incredibly emaciated and had an extremely pallid complexion. The bony arms were a stark sight, but just when it seemed that's all there was to it, look closer. You'll observe that the creature had this eerie spectral quality. It wasn't exactly visible, but it was almost transparent, like some kind of apparition. The driver, understandably spooked by this discovery, chose not to proceed, but parked at a safe distance to record this inexplicable entity. What are your thoughts on what this might be? Do you believe in rakes? If you answered no, then perhaps you have to skip this clip because you may end up renouncing your disbelief. This creature was spotted in the woods, and it's none other than the rake. This creature, known as the rake, is often described as a pale humanoid being with glowing eyes. The rake is a part of the paranormal lore and cryptid mythology, often depicted as a malevolent entity that terrorizes unsuspecting victims. While there are various stories and alleged sightings, the existence of the rake, like many other cryptids, remains unproven and is largely based on anecdotal accounts and limited evidence. It continues to be a subject of fascination and mystery within the realms of the unexplained. This security camera, positioned on the streets of the UK, recorded a baffling event that has left many utterly perplexed. It starts as a seemingly peaceful night with a noisy motorcycle going by. Now, I know you might be scanning intently for the main subject, but it has nothing to do with the motorcycle rider. Shift your gaze ahead to the building in front of the camera, the one next to the red car. Descending from the rooftop of the building, a peculiar entity moves behind the red car, then climbs onto the vehicle and continues its descent, eventually crossing the road. However, as it reaches the center of the road, the creature vanishes. At first, it might appear like some sort of rodent or something similar, but the way it vanishes defies all logic. This leaves us with one question: what in the world was that? In recent times, Bigfoot have gained such popularity that any hairy creature glimpsed in the woods is promptly labeled as one. Observe this footage captured in the woods where you can see a furry being frolicking within its wooded surroundings. The uploader of the footage is rather convinced that it's a Bigfoot. When we examine it, however, we realize that there's something suspicious about it. There's an oddly human quality to this creature. Although I'm tempted to suggest it's a shaggy human, it isn't. Instead, my suspicions lean toward it being a person in a costume. What's your take on this? In this footage, we have a curious friend right here slithering across the Trailcam. This is like nothing we have seen on the channel, and it's exciting. Unless, of course, you have ophidiophobia. If you had it, you know what it meant, so if you don't, then clearly you don't have it. For those who want to know, that's the name for the fear of snakes. Now back to the trail camera. It looks like it was set on a tree that happened to be on the path of our kind friend here. But instead of passing by the camera, this snake here just decided to slither on the device without a care whatsoever. While the owner might not have liked it, we are glad it did, because how else would we get this awesome footage? This footage emerged on the internet back in 2006, shot in someone's backyard. Mysterious noises had been emanating from the area for a while, prompting an investigation one night. However, what they stumbled upon left them questioning their property purchase. There, lying on the ground, was a pale entity with a head and arms reminiscent of a human. This figure appeared to be sleeping on the ground. As they drew nearer, the creature awoke, turning its face to reveal a terrifying visage with glowing eyes. When this footage first surfaced, opinions were divided. Some believed it to be genuine, while others claimed it was a staged creation involving CGI. This is what some refer to as the rake, but regardless of its authenticity, it still sends a spine-chilling shiver down my back. Doesn't it do the same to yours? Speaking of mysterious captures, we don't have any from you guys featured in today's episode. Please send in your clips. As long as they're bizarre and out of this world, we'll feature them. And if you're unsure of what you captured, don't worry. I'm sure the thousands of subscribers who watch the videos could help you make sense of it. Simply send it to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Moving on. Do you believe that some bird species can be demonized? If you don't, how do you explain this? Yes, that's a bird screaming at the homeowner. We're unsure why it's doing so, but it doesn't stop even after the filming stops. I'm not an avian expert, so I can't tell which exact species it is, but what do you make of it? Do you think it's asking for help? Do you think it's giving the owner a piece of its mind, or are we simply looking at some demonic bird possibly raining curses at the homeowner? Share your thoughts, I'd love to hear them. If you have similar experiences, don't hesitate to add them too. Late night drives. I have very beautiful and fond memories of such trips, especially when you have your buddies along with you. Despite my numerous trips, I encountered some of what I'm about to show you. The footage starts off as an innocent documentation of someone's road trip. As the footage continues, we realize that there are no cars on the road aside from the one from which the video is being recorded. The streetlights and the headlights give it an eerie feel. A few seconds later, we notice that there's a figure just ahead of the car, and in less than a second, the figure dashes to the left. There's no way that's human. The first and initial guesses are that we are dealing with something paranormal. Narrowing it down, we think it might be a ghost. What do you think, though? I mean, there's little to work with, but what could it be aside from a ghost? This next footage was captured by someone who was out exploring caves. Yes, caves. It's not something I would do, but their discoveries often lead to advancements in science and history. But what this man discovered, well, I'm not so sure. Those are actual eyes, and yes, they are staring back. Obviously, the ones who recorded the footage were very scared. But what exactly are they looking at? We can only see its glowing eyes and a small part of its face, yet not enough to actually know what we are dealing with. Members of the paranormal community believe it might be a skinwalker, but I just don't see it. Despite disagreeing, though, I can't seem to associate it with any known cryptid of ours. Perhaps it might be a creature that lives in the cave that has long been forgotten. Do you have any experience with any creature like this? Have you heard any folklore involving cave creatures that you think might be connected? Share them in the comments section alongside your opinions of what we might be dealing with. We'd really like to hear them. GoPros are an explorer's best friend for a number of reasons, but one of the main selling points is its durability. But what happens when you find a GoPro in the woods with no owners in sight? This footage you see was captured by a GoPro that was found in the woods by some explorers. Once they tried to play back the last few seconds of its footage to discover what could have happened to its owners, they saw this. Yes, that's a witch-looking being staring at the riders. After the riders see the witch, they try to ride away, and that's exactly when the GoPro footage ends. Try as they may, those who discovered the GoPro could not identify the riders. The funny thing is, no rider has reported a missing GoPro either. Some believe they might have been tourists or something, but if tourists had such an encounter, surely they'd report it. This led them to believe perhaps those captured in the footage didn't make it out alive. Perhaps what we saw here could have been their last moments. What do you think? Possible or too much? Has your life ever been so boring that you sought out thrills to make it exciting? Well, that's exactly what these young men are doing. Aspiring to be YouTubers of the spooky world, they visited an area of the woods known to have such encounters with high hopes that they too might capture something on camera. And this happened.
I don't know, maybe. What was that? What was that?
Yes, something came out of nowhere and scared them.
I'm wigging out. I don't know.
Unsure of what it was, they ran till they were out of the woods. If you pay attention to the audio in the background, you'll realize it sounds like a pig, but the boys believe it was also humanoid. This brings to mind only one cryptid, the Pigman. This is believed to be the spirit of a man who butchered pigs until they killed him in vengeance. Angry, his spirit is still believed to roam the earth and attack individuals when provoked. While I'm all for some Pigman action, I think the boys may have actually encountered a wild pig and not the Pigman as they suspected. What do you think, though? If you still haven't hit that like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. Now let's take a break from all the spooky stuff and enjoy these dancing bears. No, they're not actually dancing, there's more to what they're doing. Bears often scratch themselves by rubbing against trees, rocks, or other objects, but these behaviors are not actual dancing in the way humans dance, but rather instinctive or practical actions with specific purposes. They sometimes do this to relieve itching, remove parasites or ticks or fleas, and groom their fur. So in this regard, it's not a dance, but a way for bears to maintain their hygiene and comfort. They also do this to mark their territory and communicate with other bears. This scent marking can serve to establish dominance and communicate their presence to other bears in the area. Looking at these bears, which do you think they're doing? Tell us in the comment section. Trailcams always capture the most interesting of things. This next capture is one of them. A hunter monitoring deer in the area set up his trail camera to capture the animals within the part of the woods. This was to inform his next actions. While the trail cam did indeed capture deer, he noticed something in the background of the image. Yes, what you are seeing is the zoomed-in image, but can you see it? It looks like a screaming man, doesn't it? My first thought when I saw it was perhaps that's a man materializing from a different dimension, which might explain the screaming. I mean, perhaps it's a painful process. My able intern, however, thinks it looks like an alien, and perhaps it might have a cloaking device activated, which is why it looks like that. I mean, that sounds much wilder and more unbelievable than my interdimensional man theory. What do you think, though? Are we way ahead of ourselves, or do we have answers that could help? Please share in the comments section, as I'd love to hear them. While walking by a river, this man noticed something unusual in the water, prompting him to take out his phone to record the scene. As he approached to get a better view, he realized he was looking at a massive crocodile. The reptile lay just below the water's surface, its mouth slightly open, revealing its sharp teeth. However, the creature remained motionless in the water. Crocodiles are known for their strategic hunting tactics. Typically, one might expect such a reptile to lunge at the man from the water, but this particular crocodile remained stationary. Was it sleeping, dead, or simply not hungry at that moment? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. In this clip, we have another capture of what appears to be a Sasquatch, commonly known as Bigfoot, sitting on the forest floor with its head down. This creature seems to have brown hair, which is consistent with many descriptions of Bigfoot sightings. While it's crucial to approach such footage with a healthy dose of skepticism, the context here is intriguing. The area where this footage was captured is renowned for Bigfoot sightings and is not known for having a population of bears or primates. This raises questions about the possibility of it being a legitimate Bigfoot encounter. As exciting as that thought might be, without clearer evidence or more extensive documentation, it's challenging to draw definitive conclusions. With the evidence presented to you, however, what do you have to say about the whole thing? Still on the bizarre and strange, take a look at this clip.
There it is.
The footage starts off with a group of friends staring at an old, abandoned, and run-down house. After a few seconds, they look like they have seen something spooky and quickly drive off.
Holy Go, 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 go.
This was sent to us from a fan on this page, stating he saw something otherworldly, a ghost, if you may. Naturally, that excited us, but after going through the footage, we couldn't make out what he was referring to. But perhaps you can. Take a second look at the footage and share with us what you see. We'd love to know. What would you do if you saw a strange creature in the woods? Well, if you answered run away, I wouldn't blame you because it's something I myself would have done. But the individual in the clip I'm about to share with you had different ideas. The clip starts with a weird figure standing in the distance, not moving. Seeing something standing like this in the middle of nowhere in the night is bound to send the heart racing and scared. But the one recording the footage simply gets closer to get a better view. The creature is definitely humanoid, yet not human. The recorder's curiosity gets the better of him and he pokes it with a stick. Despite the poke, it remains indifferent and maintains its weird, ominous vibe. A second look and you'll realize that the creature's body feels more like cloth than it does skin. Are we really looking at a cryptid, or is this an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Next, we have odd footage of a creature I believe you may recognize. Have a look. What do you reckon that is? Well, at first glance, you may think it's a gorilla because of its fur and muscles, but in a second, your mind might correct and remind you that gorillas don't walk upright. What about a chimpanzee? It could be a chimpanzee, right? After all, those ones walk upright, don't they? You might find that comforting, but then again, you are quickly reminded that chimpanzees aren't that tall or buff. What then could this be? Anyone familiar with the paranormal or this channel will definitely scream Bigfoot. Is it an authentic sighting, though? I think I'll leave that up to you. You tell me. In the security footage, an enigmatic entity was captured in motion outside. The figure appears to be humanoid in shape, yet it's composed of what seems like smoke or mist. While the footage lacks clarity, the discernible bipedal movement suggests an otherworldly presence. Could this be a manifestation of a ghostly entity? The ethereal nature of the figure certainly leaves room for speculation. The eerie and mysterious quality of this sighting raises more questions than it does answers, inviting us to ponder the nature of such a phenomena. It's astonishing how nature is able to give us unique creations that beat our imaginations. This next clip is proof of that. While this particular creature may appear peculiar and even otherworldly to those unfamiliar with its appearance, it's simply an anteater. Aptly named, these fascinating animals are specialized in eating ants and termites. As interesting as these creatures might look, you might want to keep your distance whenever you encounter them. Although they're usually not a threat to humans, giant anteaters can inflict severe wounds with their front claws. Stepping away from that disclaimer, if there's anything to take away from this clip, it's that it serves as a gentle reminder that the natural world is filled with an incredible diversity of life forms, each uniquely adapted to its environment and dietary preferences. In other words, not everything that looks strange is paranormal. Sometimes it's just nature's way of creating remarkable things. In this intriguing footage captured by an oilfield worker in the Canadian woods, there's something unusual lurking among the trees. When you slow down the video, it becomes even more evident. A large, dark-furred figure with an impressive physique almost like a bodybuilder. This creature doesn't resemble the typical primates we're familiar with. Could this be evidence of a Bigfoot in the wilds of Canada? It's certainly a possibility. Bigfoot sightings have been reported for years, and the mysterious nature of these creatures continues to pique the curiosity of many. While it's difficult to draw definitive conclusions from this footage alone, it adds another piece to the puzzle of these enigmatic beings. While wandering through the woods, a man stumbled upon an intriguing sight: a strange creature perched among the branches of a tree. At first, he mistook it for a natural part of the tree itself, but then something caught his attention: the creature's eyes, mysterious and intent. Upon closer inspection, it became apparent that this creature has mastered the art of camouflage, seemingly blending seamlessly with the tree it occupied. In Bolivia, a rather intriguing image surfaced recently in August 2023. This photograph depicts a slender, pale entity standing at approximately 4 feet in height with an unusually large head. What's more perplexing is that this creature appears to be in motion, captured near a river. Unsurprisingly, this photo has ignited a wave of speculation and debate among experts and enthusiasts alike. With its uncanny resemblance to the stereotypical depiction of extraterrestrials, it raises questions about the possibility of their presence on Earth. Could this image be a piece of evidence in the ongoing discourse of extraterrestrial life and their alleged interactions with our planet? In a world where strange creatures often capture our imagination, it's easy to jump to conclusions when coming across something unusual. Take this recent sighting, for example. During a rainy day, a peculiar creature was observed ascending into the woods. Its wet appearance gave it an otherworldly, somewhat eerie vibe, leading many to suspect it was an alien or cryptid. Let's not, however, be too hasty in our judgments. The reality here is far more mundane. This creature, though it may look a bit odd when drenched, is nothing more than a sloth. These gentle, slow-moving creatures are among the most unhurried inhabitants of the wild. When they're dry, they reveal their true charm, cute and cuddly without a hint of danger. So the next time you encounter something unusual, remember that not everything is paranormal or extraterrestrial. Before you move on to the next clip, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, or even drop a comment in the comment section. It goes a long way to help us produce more videos for you. Thank you very much for doing so, it means a lot. Moving back to the day's episode. In this intriguing security footage, a man can be seen limping away in apparent panic with something closely behind him. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary pursuit, possibly by a dog or another person. However, as the events unfold, it becomes chillingly clear that what's chasing him isn't what you'd expect. The entity following the man has a reptilian-like appearance, which is certainly perplexing. Is this a genuine encounter with something beyond our understanding, or could it be an elaborate hoax? As with many such unexplained incidents, we're left to wonder about the authenticity of this footage. Our next eerie clip was posted by a YouTuber, Shay, who is known for his explorations of unusual and often paranormal places. During one of his expeditions, Shay ventured into an abandoned, waterlogged shelter with stairs. While going down the stairs and recording the journey, the camera captured something that initially went unnoticed but sent shivers down the spines of those who later spotted it. Hidden in a small compartment at the side of the stairs was a figure. This space was far too confined to accommodate a person, and the entity concealed within it was not immediately obvious unless you were actively searching for it, which is precisely what Shay's subscriber did. Upon closer examination of the slowed-down footage, the mysterious presence becomes apparent: a head of hair and a disfigured, pale face. Speculation arises that this could be the ghost of one of the shelter's former residents, or perhaps something even more enigmatic. In an eerie turn of events, a couple woke up one morning to find their bedroom window had been left open despite being certain they'd closed it the night before. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, they decided to unravel this mystery by setting up a camera to monitor the window while they slept. The following morning, when they reviewed the footage, what they discovered sent chills down their spine. There, captured on video, was a massive dark figure lurking just outside their window. This figure possessed inhuman glowing eyes, exuding an eerie and unsettling presence. What's particularly unsettling is that their home appeared to be close to the woods, suggesting that this creature could be anything at all. While the couple's course of action after the incident remains unknown, one can't help but think that it might be a sign for them to consider a change of residence. Wouldn't you agree? In the mysterious waters of the Missouri River, a captivating piece of footage was captured, hinting at the presence of a large and enigmatic creature. While we can easily rule out the typical suspects like crocodiles or alligators, what lurks beneath these waves seems to be something altogether bigger and more elusive, a water monster of sorts. The immense waves generated by this concealed creature suggest not only its size but also its remarkable length. As we ponder this enigma, we can't help but wonder about the identity of this hidden river dweller. Could it be an undiscovered species or an ancient aquatic giant that's managed to elude our understanding? In the dead of night, a group of motorcyclists in India stumble upon an enigmatic figure ambling along the road. The being in question bore an uncanny resemblance to a hairless, naked human, yet its movements were far from ordinary, characterized by a peculiar, almost sluggish gait. The sight was undeniably eerie and sparked fervent debates among those who witnessed it. Was this a chance encounter with another form of extraterrestrial life, or could there be more terrestrial explanations for this strange, slow-moving entity? Perhaps you can shed some light on this unsolved mystery. In this unsettling security footage captured at a home, two individuals were enjoying a late-night swim in their pool when an unexpected guest crashed their aquatic gathering. Out of nowhere, a crocodile stealthily slithered into the pool, plunging the night into chaos. As the commotion began, the man in the pool displayed quick reflexes, managing to escape the water and evade the clutches of the lurking reptile. However, the situation took a more perilous turn for the woman, who found herself in a heart-pounding struggle with the crocodile. In a tense and terrifying moment, it appeared as though the crocodile was about to strike. Thankfully, she eventually managed to extricate herself from the dangerous encounter. The sudden and inexplicable appearance of this predator raises many questions about why and how it found its way into a residential pool. While scouting through the woods, a hunter stumbled upon a captivating sight. Concealed amidst the underbrush, he spotted what he firmly believed to be a Bigfoot. The cryptid sat there, seemingly absorbed in its own activities, blissfully unaware of the hunter's presence. Such encounters with elusive creatures like Bigfoot continue to fuel speculation and curiosity. It's a tantalizing glimpse into a world of mysteries lurking in the wilderness. Two adventurous individuals were deep in the woods when their attention was captivated by an enigmatic sight among the trees.
Behind that tree there, do you see it? There, look! It's moving! Where? Now, what was that?
It was a towering creature notably resembling a massive primate traversing the terrain on two legs. The creature took measured strides amidst the trees, seemingly oblivious to the presence of the two observers who were diligently filming this extraordinary encounter. Based on the available evidence, this sighting strongly suggests the presence of a Bigfoot, a legendary and elusive cryptid believed to roam remote wilderness areas. The observers' reactions appears to be a blend of amazement and fascination at this rare and remarkable glimpse of an iconic cryptid.
Behind that tree there, do you see it? There, look! It's moving! Where? Now, what was that?
In a mysterious incident captured on video and shared on the YouTube channel Para Breakdown, eerie sounds echoed through the night in Mission, Oregon.
Who's doing a documentary on Bigfoot will enjoy this footage.
These unsettling noises resembled laughter and seemed to emanate from the nearby woods. The intensity and proximity of the laughter were enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. However, the night's eerie symphony was short-lived, as the strange laughter eventually subsided, leaving the night quiet once more. But the silence was soon disrupted by another startling sound: a gunshot. This sudden and ominous development raises questions about what might have been transpiring in the area that night. Was someone hunting down the source of the laughter, or was it something else entirely?
As a hiker ventured along his well-trodden path, a desire to capture its enchanting allure urged him to wield his camera, immortalizing each fleeting moment. Let's take a look at what he captures. Entering a remote stretch of the trail, a small rabbit graces his path. Swiftly zooming in with his camera, he pauses, captivated by the serenity of the scene. Regrettably, this tranquil interlude is abruptly shattered. A growing unease takes hold, gnawing at him without a clear cause. Resolute but puzzled, he chooses to retrace his steps. The further he ventures into the woods, the more unsettling the occurrence has become, prompting his steps to hasten. An eerie symphony envelops him, whispering secrets only the forest knows. Swiftly he turns, only to find that the rabbit, phantom or reality, has vanished without a trace. Amid the disquiet, a faint voice emerges from the depths of the woods, a mere whisper of, "Hi there," or perhaps my senses deceive me. Soon, however, the whispers morph into what seems like a woman's voice.
He was right there.
The sounds, however, are far from comforting. They carry an eerie and distressing tone. Scared, he quickly runs out of the place and posts this online, asking for input and help on what he may have seen. While he and many who viewed the footage believe this quick departure may have saved his own life, a user in the original post proposed an unsettling theory. They suggested the voice sounded like that of a woman who had been gagged, pleading for help. They believe he had the opportunity to save someone who'd been kidnapped or someone who was being trafficked. Watching it on repeat again, I'm tempted to agree with the second person. What do you personally think?
Have you ever pondered the peculiar events that unfold during the mysterious hours of the night? Allow me to take you on a journey through a compelling video.
The lights are... The lights are off right now. Oh, it just moved. It just moved. It just moved.
In the dead of night, a vigilant security guard becomes unnerved by an unexplained presence at one of the building's windows he oversees during his shift. This figure initially seems unconcerned, until it inexplicably moves out of sight. A similar eerie encounter transpires in another room, this time involving two shadowy figures. Suddenly, an object is sent hurtling across the room, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the unfolding mystery, with the other security personnel giving an assurance of not having entered the room yet. Over the walkie-talkie, we hear the security personnel in conversation, attempting to piece together the puzzling events. However, as the story unfolds, it becomes apparent that they may never reach a definitive conclusion regarding the enigmatic occurrences they've witnessed. What do you believe these shadowy figures and inexplicable events could be? Share your insights and theories in the comments section as we embark on a quest to decipher this enigmatic tale. This video, captured in Portugal, Lisbon, in the middle of the night, presents a captivating scene.
Miren esto que está sucediendo ahorita. Estamos aquí en Lisboa. No sabemos, no se sabe. Miren el avión. Va a combatir esto que se ve acá. No se sabe qué. Si alguien sabe.
A crowd has gathered to witness a peculiar spectacle in the night sky. Among the many objects illuminating the sky, there's a concentrated area with what seems to be either green lasers or some form of green gas dispersed into the atmosphere. The question that arises is, what could these objects be? Are they UFOs, drones, or something entirely different? The uncertainty surrounding this phenomenon certainly raises intrigue. While it's a fascinating sight, there's no need for immediate alarm. UFO sightings often have logical explanations, and authorities typically investigate such occurrences to ensure safety. It's a mystery that leaves room for speculation, and perhaps further investigation will shed light on the nature of these luminous objects. In this intriguing scenario, we witness two officers entering a home at night, likely for investigative purposes.
Downstairs, Clearest.
The second officer takes on the role of recording the entire moment, while the first officer is equipped with both a source of illumination and what seems to be a rifle. As they make their way down the staircase, a sudden sound of footsteps startles the first officer. He swiftly turns to investigate, only to find an open door and no visible presence behind them. The question that lingers is, what could be lurking in the house with them? It's a mystery that keeps both the officers and us pondering.
Upstairs clear?
We're done.
After their thorough search, they ultimately retire to their base, leaving the enigmatic situation unresolved. This doesn't leave the internet quiet, but rather in a frenzy as to what could have been lingering about. A shadowy figure, maybe? Let us know what you saw in the comments section. This next clip was taken in China. Have a look. A strange structure looks to appear in the sky. In this footage, you can see buildings and one particular structure that looks like an angel with wings. This phenomenon is called the Fata Morgana. Fata Morgana is a complex form of mirage that occurs due to variations in temperature and density in the atmosphere, causing light to refract and create optical illusions. This phenomenon can lead to surreal and seemingly impossible appearances, such as distorted buildings, floating structures, or even creatures like angels. Fata Morgana can be quite striking and realistic, especially when observed over large bodies of water or uneven terrain. So, the angel-like structure you saw is most likely a product of Fata Morgana. Do you agree? It's in part A as the mirage. In this intriguing security footage, something rather unusual unfolds. Take a closer look, and you'll notice a peculiar figure gliding silently through the streets, concealed within the shadows cast by two parked cars. This enigmatic presence seems to possess a humanoid form, lending an air of ghostly mystery to the scene. It's as if this entity roams the deserted streets in the silent hours of the night, a lone wanderer in a world where most are sound asleep in the comfort of their homes. Isn't it curious how so many of these strange encounters seem to happen to forest hikers? In this particular tale, we follow two German hikers who were simply out for a walk in the woods, minding their own business, when something unusual piqued their curiosity. Two mysterious pipes jutted out from the ground, seemingly calling to them. What could be hidden beneath? Their intrigue got the best of them, and they decided to investigate further. As they brushed away the leaves and debris, an astonishing discovery awaited them: a concealed doorway leading into the earth. It was like something out of an adventure story. The hikers ventured deeper and were met with an abandoned bunker, a labyrinthine complex of tunnels and rooms that seemed to stretch on forever. But it wasn't just the eerie underground structure that sent shivers down their spines. As they explored, they stumbled upon unsettling German writings scrawled across the bunker walls, some of which translated to chilling phrases like "Help" and "Satan, I love you." It quickly became clear that this bunker had a dark and mysterious history. As the hikers delved deeper into their exploration, they uncovered hints that this place had once been connected to the Nazis during World War II. Even though the bunker had been deserted for years, a palpable sense of unease lingered in the air, a reminder of the secrets it still held. On this eerie island, prepare to experience the world of dolls like never before. The story behind this unsettling spectacle begins with a tragic incident: the drowning of a young girl in the island's waters. The tale takes a dark turn when a man, rumored to have attempted to rescue the girl, decides to hang toys all over the island. Over approximately 17 years, this haunting display slowly took shape. Legend has it that following the girl's untimely demise, these peculiar toys would mysteriously manifest on the island. In response, the man would collect them and hang them or place them in various spots. It's a tale of that takes an even more chilling twist, as the man himself met his end in the very same river where the young girl had tragically lost her life. The combination of these elements creates an atmosphere on the island that is truly spine-tingling and, quite frankly, downright eerie. The dolls and their haunting history are sure to send shivers down your spine. Now, in this series of security camera footage captured in the same vicinity, things take a perplexing turn. What you'll observe is a truly bizarre creature, or at least something that initially appears to be human. It sports a head of short, dark hair and seems, oddly enough, to be unclothed. The mind begins to race with questions. Is it a homeless individual, or perhaps someone who has lost touch with reality? However, upon closer examination, a disconcerting truth emerges. This peculiar figure possesses an otherworldly, ghostly quality. Its movements are unnaturally rapid, defying any human capabilities. This raises the hair-raising possibility: could this be a skinwalker, or worse yet, an entity of a more sinister nature? Imagine the scene: a lone traveler on a desolate road, the moon casting eerie shadows through the bushes. And then, out of the darkness, something utterly bizarre emerges. A horned creature, unlike anything one would expect to encounter on the side of the road. This enigmatic being appears almost ghostly in the dim light, standing there, its presence sending a chill down the observer's spine. What could it be? Where did it come from? And what does it want? Such an encounter would undoubtedly leave anyone pondering the mysteries of the night and the secrets that lurk within the shadows. Ah, the elusive Bigfoot, a creature that has captivated the imaginations of many for generations. Now, feast your eyes on this intriguing footage captured deep within the woods. In this compelling clip, a figure that bears a striking resemblance to the legendary Bigfoot is seen effortlessly manipulating a massive tree, bending it with apparent ease. The creature displays all the hallmarks of a Bigfoot: bipedal, covered in fur, and having an unmistakably ape-like appearance. What sets this apart from your run-of-the-mill hoax is the creature's superhuman strength. It wields the tree as if it's a mere twig, making it highly unlikely that this is merely a person in an elaborate costume. While the footage may lack crystal clarity due to the camera's extreme zoom, the sheer size and distance of the figure make it one of the most compelling Bigfoot sightings to date. Could this be the irrefutable evidence we've been waiting for? Out in the serene wilderness, capturing the beauty of nature, this man's peaceful moment took an eerie turn when he heard an unusual noise. As he panned his camera towards the source of the sound, he captured something truly strange and unsettling. The creature in question appears slender, with an elongated neck and limbs. According to the man behind the camera, he believes he may have unwittingly recorded a sighting of the enigmatic siren head. For those unfamiliar, the siren head is a cryptid known for its horrifying appearance, resembling a humanoid figure with sirens for a head, emitting disturbing sounds to lure unsuspecting victims. What's your take on this peculiar encounter?
If you have any Trailcam footage you'd like the rest of the world to see, please send it over to us at classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Don't be shy and don't think it's crazy. We'll help you make sense of even the most bizarre of captures. What's more, we'll give you the credit, unless you want to remain anonymous. And as you do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps us out a ton. See you in the next one.